The other two members of the five were the Count of Citra, who was in charge of guarding the northern border of the Kingdom of Ingratia, and King Dolan, who was from a small kingdom in the west. His nation was a military nation guarded by soldiers of the Dolan family. With these two powerhouses stationed in Ingratia, it was obvious how much thought Granbell had put into the structure of this land. It was next to the Holy Empire of Lobelia and far from the Great Jura Forest. It would be the safest place on this continent. Granbell thought it was the most suitable location to act as the center hub of politics and economy. But why is he antagonizing me? I'm such a friendly demon lord, after all. I blurted out without thinking, and, for whatever reason, everyone looked at me with surprise. With all of the provocations you've issued, it's enough to turn anyone against you. What? I thought you were provoking them as well. Diablo mentioned that Rimuru-sama wishes to dominate the world economy. I thought that you were going to control the council as well. What do you mean? Also, you were discussing that with Diablo. I thought so too, and figured intelligence gathering was a part of that. Yeah, I can't deny that it was one of the goals. Surely it can't be that you have been doing this unconsciously the whole time. Even Hinata is saying so. I never knew this was how everyone thought of me. Nah, not at all. Although I can't deny that I had absolutely no intention to do that, I also wasn't that anxious to get it done. That's why I wanted to negotiate peacefully with others. Hearing my excuse, Hinata let out a stunned sigh. I doubt there are any good-natured merchants that would allow some new guys to just come around and mess with their trades, don't you think? She has a point. It's alright. We will probably have to confront each other at some point. Let's work towards controlling the economic activities of the Western nations from now on. I had that idea in mind from the very start. However, my duty is to fortify defense. I shall go investigate the Rosso clan and the 5 great elders. It was a good thing to be able to see our enemies clearly. As our new companion, Glenda, said, "You guys sure are lucky to have gotten all this for free. Now we knew what to work towards from now on. Okay, you guys should be cautious as well. Pay extra attention. Don't accidentally get sandwiched by Yuuki and the Rosso clan." Understood. Benamere nodded as Sae also agreed. We still needed to wait on Yuuki's side while we fought in intelligence and economic warfare against the Rossos. We didn't have to shed any blood for now, so it was relatively more relaxed. There was a part often that felt as though I was worrying too much, so I decided to end the conversation. Hold on, Hinata suddenly interjected. Yuuki and the Rosso clan. Why are you cautious about Yuuki? I was confused for a second and quickly realized that I had forgotten to bring this matter up to Hinata's attention. It's nothing. It's just that I thought about it a lot, and the only person I could come up with who knew about my identity as a reincarnated one, my relationship with Shizu-san, and is able to leak this information to the Eastern merchants, was. Right, only Yuuki fits the bill. That's right. By the way, that Majin called Laplas from that moderate clown gang, I'm guessing that Roy, who was pretending to be the demon lord, may have been beaten by him. No guarantee though. It's alright, thanks anyway. I'm not interested in that matter, but I can't just sit back and watch if he's hostile against us. It looked like Hinata was treating Laplas and the others as enemies. She gave off a chillingly cold laugh. Ooh, how horrifying. I really had to watch myself to not piss off Hinata. After disclosing what I discovered to Hinata, she stood up and made an effort to leave. About that. Glenda opened up timidly. It looked like she had something else to say to me. What is it? Feel free to speak what's on your mind. Did you just remember something? Just as I finished asking, Glenda dropped the bombshell of the day. You were talking about the leader of the Freedom Association, Yuuki, weren't you? That guy's connected to the 5 great elders Johan. He's completely under the control of Maribel. Yuuki is being controlled. Is this true? I'm not bold enough to make jokes under these circumstances. I suppose so. Why didn't you say something so important earlier? Well, technically speaking, I am Granbell's direct subordinate. There were 2 people who had authority over Glenda. They seemed to be Granbell and Maribel. And Glenda's orders mainly came from Granbell. Therefore, Glenda never really had the chance to guess Maribel's thoughts. I wasn't sure if Glenda knew anything else. She claimed she told us everything she knew. With that, I heard Maribel had subordinates known as the Blood Shadows who specialized in doing the dirty work for the Rossos. But Shuna mumbled, there's another problem now. If Yuuki was manipulated, he may have leaked secrets of Rimuru-sama involuntarily. Hinata also fell deep into her own thoughts. It looked like we needed to reevaluate the situation. How rare, even Raphael-san fell silent. This is really rare. If even Raphael-san can't find the answer, then maybe it's no use for me to bother. Right now, the most important thing was to let the thought go. Since I couldn't figure out anything now, I would just think about it at another time. Just like during the exams, it would be better to put harder questions on hold and solve them later. You shouldn't waste all your valuable time. Anyways, let's list Yuuki as a suspect and see what happens next. Hold on. Yuuki always acted very cautiously, so he probably wouldn't do anything to us on his own. However, it would be different if he had been manipulated by someone else. If his controller were Mirabelle, who wished to antagonize us, wouldn't that just topple everything we assumed before? If I may, if Yuuki can disobey Mirabelle's orders, is it possible that he would disregard his own stance and do something unnatural? Yes, that was it. Mirabelle wanted to eliminate all of us. So, she could utilize Yuuki to plot against us. In other words, we would most likely be cornered. Doesn't that make things pretty bad for us? They will need to collect intelligence, so the Raso clan probably won't do anything, however. Nai-san and Sai have a point. Aren't you going to go explore some ruins with the vice president of the Freedom Association, Kaguli-san? Perhaps they have some devious scheme behind it. It seemed as though everyone shared the same view. We might have been too optimistic about our situation. There's no need to worry about that, it's too early to say anything. Mirabelle, the Raso clan, they would sever ties with Yuuki and claim that they had no idea about his actions. They could push all of the blame to the Freedom Association and let us fight it out with them. That way, Rimuru-sama's plan would be compromised. If we were to just observe, we may lose our chance to strike first. With that being said, we were already very cautious. The town was heavily guarded, and it wouldn't be easy to instigate our residents, either. If it is the case. Proposal, we can intentionally show weak points to lure out the enemies. That's it. Should we cancel the ruin exploration? Benimaru proposed. I shook my head in response. No, we can use this to our advantage. If we were to cancel it, Milam would be super annoyed. Let's proceed as planned, but we should be prepared to confront our enemies no matter what happens. Milam seemed to be looking forward to the expedition. It was like a hike where she could temporarily escape from her homework. Canceling it now would likely anger her. That would be troublesome. If possible, I wouldn't want to cancel the expedition either. Wouldn't it be dangerous? Milam would come. I also want to bring Xian as my bodyguard. Okay, that's no problem. Xian wasn't too happy about staying behind this time. This would surely cheer her up. Since Benimaru had no problems with the plan, Xian would be my bodyguard. I will also bring Gopta and Ranga along. Shouldn't that be enough force? Understood. Leave the town's security to me in case anything happens during Rimuru-sama's departure. I will help Nai-san. First, I will fortify the barrier. I will be in charge of surveillance and see if anyone acts suspiciously in the different nations, especially the 5 great elders mentioned by Glenda. I'll be counting on you guys. Bildora is in the labyrinth. Ask him for help if anything were to happen. As I finished, everyone nodded in agreement. Then I will report back to Luminous-sama. You are really careless sometimes, so be extra cautious. You talk too much. After she finished chatting with me, Hinata used magic to return home. Even though she was usually very cold, Hinata would occasionally show some care for me in her own way. Is this what a tsundere is? Answer, no. Yeah, totally. I was daydreaming a bit, but oh the cruel reality. Anyways, our plan was settled. All we had to do was to be prepared for action when the day arrived.